law enforcement response at Robb Elementary School on May 24, 2022, and in the hours and days after, was a failure that should not have happened.
Breaking news at noon. Attorney General Merrick Garland just finished speaking in Uvalde as the Department of Justice released its incident review this morning into the shooting at Robb Elementary. That report repeatedly points to what the DOJ calls a failure by law enforcement and concluded the shooting could have been stopped sooner. Our KENS 5 team has been combing over this 600-page report. KENS 5 Zach Briggs is joining us live now from Uvalde with some of the findings from this review. Zach, what's the latest?
Well, the DOJ report, more than 500 pages long. Attorney General Merrick Garland just wrapped up speaking with media moments ago, and you could take a look behind the sea of cameras. Family of the Robb Elementary victims are speaking, reacting to that critical incident review. And Garland had noted that the law enforcement response on May 24, 2022 was, quote, failure that should not have happened. Garland recalled the timeline of those events when a gunman stormed Robb Elementary, killing 19 children and 2 teachers. The critical incident review is a product of more than 14,000 pieces of evidence and over 260 interviews. Garland pointed out multiple failures, ranging from poor leadership on that tragic day to absence of training among law enforcement. He stressed it took nearly 75 minutes for nearly 400 law enforcement officers to confront the gunman. Garland also touched on the fact that law enforcement were scrambling to find a key to enter the room where the massacre happened. He said it's likely the door was open. The critical incident review details the flawed safety preparedness plan established by Uvalde ISD. The report sheds light on the failed response by public information officers that properly communicate to the community accurate information related to the shooting at Robb. Dozens upon dozens of recommendations are laid out to serve as guidance for law enforcement and other agencies across the nation on how to prepare and react to a mass shooting. But Garland did emphasize that time is absolutely vital when responding to such tragedies.
The priority of law enforcement must be to immediately enter the room and stop the shooter with whatever weapons and tools officers have with them. That is the approach responding officers first employed when they arrived at Robb Elementary School. But within minutes of arriving inside the school, officials on scene transitioned from treating the scene as an active shooter situation to treating the shooter as a barricaded subject. This was the most significant failure. The victims and survivors of the mass shooting at Robb Elementary on May 24, 2022 deserve better.
And Garland says the DOJ does remain committed to working with the grieving Uvalde community and communities all across the United States. Garland stressed the importance of the DOJ review honoring the victims and their loved ones. And you can see victims' families still talking, sharing their perspective on this vital review. For now, we're live in Uvalde. I'm Zach Briggs, KENS 5.
Yeah, some powerful words there. All right, Zach, thank you. State Senator